Welcome to another episode of the RV Voice, and today I'm joined by Tanner and Cole, both colleagues. Tanner is a RV outfitter out of Lincoln, Nebraska, and Cole is the digital marketing manager.
That's correct. Yep.
For Bish's RV Marketing. So glad to have these guys here, but we're going to talk about one of the most popular floor plans for starter RVers and why. And before that, we just heard from Tanner. I'm going to talk to Tanner a little bit again. Tanner, what's your background in Bish's?
Background, came from the car industry, and through you, got a great recommendation. Start working in the RV industry. Great. Didn't know a dang thing about it. Got into it. Loved it. Loved the team. Loved Bish's. Loved everything about it. Not a camper, but, the beauty of my job, I get to take some out and fell in love with it. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it.
Been about 2 years, right?
Yep.
Perfect, yeah. Great guy. You want to go see Tanner in Lincoln? Go see Tanner in Lincoln. Then Cole, a little bit of background from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Started working with Bish's RV actually out of my basement in a little town called Blackfoot, Idaho, just south of our Idaho Falls dealership. It was a lot of fun. And then got an opportunity to move over to Boise. Sorry, Jake's just moving this around for me. You good? Perfect. Yep. Had an opportunity to move over here last spring, about the same time that Jake did as well. And it's been awesome to be in office and be a little closer to, I guess, our corporate team here and see the different strategies that we roll out. So,
perfect. And Cole does a great job. He's killing it. I don't really know what else to say, but yeah, you're killing it. I think.
Well, thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank
you. So today we're going to talk about one of the most popular floor plans. It's I'm going to use the Jayco 264BH as the example. We're going to talk about why. Cole actually owned one of these things. It was 26BH at the time.
Two different ones.
Oh,
yeah, same kind of floor plan. Yep.
Two Jaycos?
Yeah. I had an older one, like a 2006. I think they called it the 26BH back then. And then the newer version was in 2016. I bought a 2016, and it was the 264. So
wonderful. But there's a whole bunch of different models, and we're going to kind of talk about them real quick. Forest River Salem 2060 Bud.
Springdale 260BH.
Coachman Catalina Legacy Edition. Let's see here. I want to make sure I get this right. 263BH SCK.
Grand Design Transcend Explorer 247BH.
Aspen Trail 26BH.
Heartland Trail Runner 261 BHS.
Gulfstream Amerilite 268BH.
Zinger 252BH.
Palomino Puma 28 DBFQ.
Jayco 260BH and the GoPlay 26BH. All right, that's a lot of models, but there's more out there from every manufacturer. Basically, everyone uses this, and here's the reasons why. Number one, it is light. A lot of half-ton pickups can tow it, even some SUVs, and it kind of fits everybody in the family. Those are big reasons. You actually had two of these. So let's start with you. Why did you love it so much?
Yeah, I think first is affordability. I think that's the reason that I was able to get into it. I think it's one of those really good entry-level travel trailers that at the time that we bought our first one, it was just me and my wife. We had a golden retriever as well, a big dog, kind of needs some room to walk around. And the 264 was just as much as sometimes some of the other smaller single axles with a slide, and so you got a little bit of room, and our plan was always to grow into that model, you know what I mean, as time went on, as we have kids or whatever else, we're going to be able to fill the bunks up and everything else. So I think that was the first thing that really kind of drew us to that unit was the affordability. And then second, I think, was storage. I think for it being so affordable and kind of smaller without slides, right, you do have quite a bit of storage put underneath. We do a lot of like boondock dry camping off-grid, so we know somewhere to put the generator, somewhere to store all of our cooking supplies. So like I have a Camp Chef griddle that I like to take out and put that in the storage bin. We've got, different things for the campsite, rug, cooler. A lot of storage goes in that trailer, and so to be able to have the front pass-through, I believe they still have that in the newer models, at least on the Jayco 261s.
Yeah.
So I had a Jayco 264, essentially that same model, and I'm sure we'll get into that here in just a second. But the front pass-through storage, and then there was the storage under the bunks, which we may get into here in just a second, but I know with the recent 264s in like 2021, 2022, and 23, I believe they had the outdoor kitchen in most of them.
Yes.
Which I didn't enjoy because it kind of took away from a lot of my storage capacity that I could store under that bunk. I believe in the newer 261s, they've taken out the outdoor kitchen. I could be wrong. Is that
the 260s?
The 261
has a slide in it. Yeah. So
that's
the 260s, correct. It's like they call it like a stripped down version of the 264. They just got rid of some little amenities. They're not really not much different.
Yeah.
They're dang near the same thing, just a little different price.
So I love having that storage capacity back in the 260, which used to be the 264, back under that bunk. Anyway, love those two things. So storage and affordability, and then the fact that my family could eventually grow into that unit was kind of what drew us to the 264.
Yeah, and I know we're talking a lot about the Jayco configuration of this floor plan. I'll put some pictures up here, but all these have the very very similar floor plan. They got the bunks in the back, the bathrooms in the back as well, and then the kitchen's in the center with the living space with the dinette, and usually there's a couch. And then the front is obviously the bed, the master bedroom, whether it's enclosed or curtained or whatever. They're very similar. Now, with that being said, the storage units are going to be a little different for each of them. It's going to be a little different configurations. The Jayco itself obviously is great for a lot of things, a lot of different reasons. It's one of the best sellers in the U.S. The Jayco J-Flight has been at the number 1, number 2 spot for a long time. But why do you think so? Why do you think it's one of the best floor plans?
Yeah, it's a great family camper. I mean, it's got, the affordability without losing the quality. As far as like the little things, the rated tires.
We're talking specifically Jayco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of quality features that they don't take out that you can use for a lifetime, pretty much. I compare them to the Hondas in car industry. Everybody knows cars, and once you say that, something you can put 300,000 miles on and use for a long time. If you're just getting into it, Jayco resale value is amazing too. If it's something that you're not into, as far as like protecting your investment, those little things go a long way.
Oh, huge. Yeah. Jayco itself, I mean, they've been a leader for 60 years almost now. And specifically the 264BH is one of their top sellers, or 260 now that they're doing as well. But this floor plan got adopted by everybody because it fits. It makes sense. You can sleep 6 to 8 people, depending on size of person. But you got the bunks in the back Jayco specifically, it's got a heavier bunk rating. But you got 2 big double over double bunks in the back. So that's 4 people, depending, or 2 large more young adults or adults size people, and then you got the front, and you got a couch. Typically it's a scissor couch, and then you got the dinette. So there's a lot of sleeping, and camping is supposed to be outside. You sleep inside, there's not a lot of room until, like, if you put 8 people in there at one time and you're hanging out on a rainy day, that's not super fun. But that's why you get a nice awning outside. You get to sit under the awning. So it's a really popular floor plan for those reasons, and it's light, it's affordable. It fits the whole family, really. And, the resale value on these things, typically all these are around $20,000. Mm-hmm. Your payments around, depending, $150 to $250, depending how you set it up, and depending on what else you have put on top of that. But you get one of these a couple years old, $15,000. A couple years older than that, around $10,000. I mean, the investment's next to nothing. Typically, people having 2 to 3, 4 or 5 years, maybe tops.
Yeah,
kick it and get another one.
I think Tanner, from your outfitter, I guess perspective, when you see customers come in, they're shopping this floor plan, is there another type of floor plan that they're also trying to decide whether to get this, double over bunk, no slide? Is there another floor plan that they're also kind of hesitant to, like, do I want the slide? Do I want to spend more for the slide? What other kind of floor plan would you kind of say that most customers are debating on either the 264 or 260 now, be it Jayco BHS, for example, or another floor plan?
Yeah, would you rather have that bigger space with the slide? I mean, is that something that's value to you? Do you do a lot of hanging out in the camper, or are you more outside? I mean, do you just need it for that sleeping capacity, or are you actually like spending some time in it? Something to consider. Definitely, when you're choosing between those floor plans.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I think back to when me and my wife owned ours, that was exactly why we chose no slide. Mm-hmm. It was cheaper. I think $4, $5, $6,000, sometimes $7,000 cheaper than putting that slide in there and getting yourself a little bit more space, a little bit more affordable. And hey, if you're camping, 3-4 weekends a year like we were, and 3, 4, 5 day camp trips, and most of your time is spent out of your camper, it really doesn't make sense to spend that extra money in getting in an RV with a slide. Not only to mention it now adds weight, it's harder to tow on your half ton, which is what we had. Mm-hmm. A lot of complexities that get added on if you choose to upgrade there. But I think that's why it's just such a simple, easy floor plan for kind of an entry level camper like we were. So
it makes sense. I've had several people just buy a 264 because they didn't know what else to buy.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I just want to get into it. And like, well, the guys, this checks all the boxes.
Great one to start with.
This is a great one to start with. I mean, you know, even driving off the lot, say it's a brand new camper. I don't know. There was a 260 around $20,000. And so you buy a 260, you drive it off the lot. I mean, it doesn't matter what you buy from a dealership. It's going to lose money when you drive off the lot. Going from new to used, what, 10, 15% immediately. Doesn't matter. These versus a $100,000 camper versus a $50,000 camper.
Yeah.
They tend to hold their value
It
pretty
doesn't hurt near as bad.
pretty well. Yeah.
You know, you just go back and sell it 2 years later, you lost $2,000.
Well, it's one of those that,
well.
like, you know, I've listed both of mine and I've sold both of mine since then, and they've sold within a month private sell. I mean, that was before I worked at Bish's RV. I would have sold it through Bish's RV. That's not a plug, but anyway, I sold it privately, and I mean, I had no hard time selling it. People were interested, especially the Jayco name. You know what I mean? It's a good, reputable brand. It's a great floor plan, easy for anybody, kids, no kids, whatever it may be. So grandkids. Yeah. I think the family that we sold it to, my most recent one, they bought it. They had grandkids that they just needed a place for the kids to stay. When the parents came up, the parents slept in a tent. Grandkids stayed with grandma and grandpa in the camper, and everybody was happy. So
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention about this floor plan is that there is no slides. And what does a slide really do? Yes, it does give you room, but it's also more opening, more problems, more places to get in water, and also, if that slide goes down when you're out there, getting that thing in isn't always the easiest thing, depending on its cable, depending on its rack and pinion. Could be a Schwintek, highly doubtful in this type entry-level campers. But a slide is more issues. If it moves, probably going to have an issue. So it's really cost-effective, smart, cheap, light. It fits everybody. You're supposed to be outside camping. You're not supposed to hang out inside. It really checks off every box that you need. This floor plan specifically, the 264 BH floor plan that literally every manufacturer has. So anything else you'd like to add?
I mean, yeah, I've had situations where on the lot, I have a brand new 24 and a used 22, and they're at the same price.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you get that at? Like,
well, we had a situation with COVID, so there's a little difference.
yeah, there's some shifting, obviously, but like even seeing it that way is you can kind of visualize and like this is real. Like as far as like, I'm not lying to you about the resale value. Like these guys, they really hold their value, and
Specifically Jayco.
Yeah.
They definitely hold. I mean, it's a cult following, if you haven't heard.
absolutely.
But yeah, anything else you guys like to add?
Yeah, no, I think exactly what we said here. I think it's a great travel trailer for somebody looking to either start out or just to hit the basic needs, whatever it may be for camping. So I definitely recommend that floor plan for anybody wanting to get started or that maybe just needs something new. So
Perfect.
Love it.
Good. Well, guys, that's basically it today. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do, and hit us in the comments. What do you want to know about? We got all the information we got literally all the information. We just don't know what the question is. So if you ask the question, we're going to answer it. So hit that follow button, comment, like, whatever, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time on the RV Voice.